One of the stories that has come back to me during this year since my father's death happened when I was around 10. My father and I were walking along the ocean. Waldo, our golden retriever, was up ahead of us, giving the business to a flock of seagulls he didn't like the looks of. The birds took off low over the water, griping loudly as they went. Among the debris at the high tide line, I found a small piece of driftwood that had a snail shell on the end of it. I knelt on the sand to study it more closely. My father came over and I held it out to him. "Dad, how did this snail shell end up on the end of a stick like this?" My father knelt beside me, took the little crucifix and turned it between his fingers. "It probably happened in the surf. The two of them got washed together in the waves and then got left here when the tide went out." "Did the snail die?" "Well, I don't know. Something happened to it. Otherwise its body would still be in the shell and the stick wouldn't fit." "Do you think something ate it?" "Probably. A crab or a seagull or something. Hard to imagine a snail dying of old age." My father considered the driftwood. "Stick's pretty weathered. Looks like a piece of a board that's been in the water for a while. Probably off a boat." "Do you think the boat sank?" My father made a face. "Oh, I don't know. I think we would have heard about it if it did. No, probably just a piece of crap some fisherman tossed overboard or that broke off." Suddenly, from out of nowhere, Waldo lunged between my father and I and ate the stick and shell. Chomp! It happened so fast, it was like a lightning strike of fur and teeth. Chomp! The stick and shell were gone. Waldo took off down the beach. He didn't run so much as he pranced. His fuzzy backside and tail held exceptionally high and proud. To be fair, Waldo had a point. These walks were part of our Saturday ritual. First thing in the morning, the three of us would take the cans to the dump. Then we would come to the beach where we would walk, and my father and I would throw things for Waldo to fetch and bring back. From the dog's point of view, it was my father's and my job to throw things for him, and it must have looked like we weren't going to do it. Waldo clearly wasn't going to stand for that, and told us so in no uncertain terms. One bite, and all that was left between my father's fingers were a few damp splinters. We split our sides laughing. Chomp! We didn't know it at the time, of course, but forever thereafter, chomp would become shorthand for any time a plan went haywire or something got ruined. It was our way of saying to each other, "Well, that sucked, but it was funny." I think this story stayed with my father and I in the way it did because, in addition to being funny, it was also true. Death sucks, but it's part of life. None of us know when or how it will come, only that it's guaranteed. This life is heartbreakingly beautiful. The sun and tides rise and fall. Snail shells end up on the end of sticks, and dogs the world over demand to play fetch. The challenge isn't to live by pretending death isn't there. It's to look straight at it, welcome it in, and swallow it whole. Chomp!